Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. We having lunch together? I hope so. Another live, and I cannot believe again, like I said yesterday, we have one more week to go and we're done. Good for me, not so good for you, maybe. How you doing, everyone? My name is Susan Ivitz. I'm a behavioral neuroscience. I'm a strategic consultant. Almost people know me as a human behavior hacker. Some people hack computers. I hack humans. And today I was supposed to be with Elva, but it looked like this is the week of technological madness. Now, she is the one not having uh, internet, and actually she's texting me right now, and I forgot to mute my phone. You see, running like chicken without head. But talking about head, we're gonna talk about face. We're gonna keep talking about faces. In this case, we're gonna talk about micro expressions. And the reason we decided to do micro expressions in this live that initially wasn't included is because who was my teacher, my mentor in micro expression, Dr. Paul Ekman, died 3 weeks ago. We lost a pioneer on the field. We have still David Matsumoto, but again, we lost the father of the discovery on the modern and micro expressions, because people has been talking about micro expression since Darwin 1872. It's not new. Human behavior is not new. We frame it as a human behavior lately. Start thinking about this. 50 years ago, we didn't understand what's human behavior. Actually, 10 years ago, we didn't have so much shows about crime, human behavior, microexpression, body language, FBI, profiling. Nobody pay attention to that. All of us in this field, we were anonymous. And I don't know, actually, we need to check who was the first one who started putting us on the map. I don't know if I should say thank you, or I should say, now I need to do it too. Okay, let's go to micro expressions. That is the show today. And Ella just texted me that she's going to be watching this on the cell phone. I hope you're not driving, love, if you're doing that on the car. I hope Alfonso is the one driving. Okay, hello, hello, hello. Exercise. I know that we have people on the live, but most of you see us after when they're going home or the next morning when you go in work. I want to know what is the picture on the left related to the picture to the right? How is this, Marilyn Monroe, the same as you're going to see on the signs? And probably nobody going to answer, because that's what you guys do all the time, not to answer to the questions. So I'm going to come up with the answer myself. They're signals. Micro expressions are signals. Both are signals. Your face, the desire that she show, is the same signal for brains as the word stop. And yeah, I haven't been drinking yet, even though it's been a fun week. No, I'm not drinking. There are signals. Everything that your face, everything that your body does is a signal to something. Can be a signal to another human, can be a signal about how you're feeling or what are your desires. Micro expressions are leaks. Our body give away, our face give away things that this happening at the moment. They escape in a quarter of a second. Now, do you have micro expressions are the ones who escape in the micro of a second, and you have macro expression. Macro expressions are the one that hold in your face like this. Okay, I'm gonna need to put my camera for that. That's the part I don't like to show my face. Here we go. Micro expression is actually it's way faster. Macro expression is when you hold on like, oh, really? That's what you did? Wow, that is a macro expression. Macro expression is no, I'm in this, I'm safe. Thank you, Elva. So macro expression is not fake. Macro expression is what we use to hold, emphasize, and I call an emblem of a communication frame we want to give. What do you mean with this? If I want to make sure you understand an expression when an actor is portraying something, when I'm doing a training or I'm coaching, and I want to make sure people understand what I'm saying, I says, you got it? Any surprise, any fear, something is going on, smile. You hold it is to emphasize, is to give an emblem, is to give a content and context to something you want to say. It's purposely done. I know I'm doing it, and you know I'm doing it, and I'm holding it in order to get your attention. Micro expressions are leaks of emotions that you have, blink of an eye. So, and that's what we're talking today, micro expressions. Your brain showed them before your mouth edited. It's so fast. You can teach someone to not show emotions with micro expressions, and that's one of the reasons they a lot of time we use Botox and overdo Botox when we know that you tend to have micro expressions that can give you away. And actually, resting beach face is not a micro expression, it's an emblem too. It's like holding the 11 between the eyes. That is the only Botox that I'm allowed to do because I'm look like resting beach face all the time because I'm cognitive overloaded. The reveal emotions, no lies. Context reveal the best. I'm going to say this, and I know these lives I have more enemies than friends, debunking certain myths like the number three. There are people talking like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Say it publicly, use my name. Come and say it. Don't say it on the back. I don't need you to talking on the back. Is micro expressions are not allowed to be used as body language either to reveal if somebody is lying. If somebody's telling you they're going to teach you how a person is lying by body language or how a person is lying by micro expressions, guess what they're lying about? About what they can teach you. One channel cannot and will not going to teach you how to find deception detection. And by the way, people is like, oh, I want to learn deception detection. And what you do with that? Are you going to make money with that? Are you going to improve your sales team? Are you going to improve your relationships? Are you going to improve you as a manager? Going around trying to find out if people is trying to deceive you, if people is trying to lie you, or people is lying to you. Well, let me tell you, you lie too. Society cannot function without white lies. Are you really going to tell your partner he sucks? Are you really going to tell your wife that that dress is not the best idea of the day? No, we need white lies. My point is, do you really need to be learning about deception detection, or you want to really learn about what's going on with that person? Because I show contempt when I'm telling you something. It doesn't mean that I'm lying to you. Is that, can I get away with that? Because I know that I don't want to share my feelings. A lie can be so simple, like you walking in a room and somebody asks you, how you feeling? Great, perfect, nothing wrong today. And my mom just died. Those are lies that we need for society. So don't go around trying to find out if people are lying. Do something better with this knowledge. Thank you very much. They reveal emotion, no lies. Context reveal the rest. Adapt fast and read the room. Again, don't go trying to find lies. Read the room. You have a gift, you have a tool, use it properly. Microexpressions, lies, or emotions. Emotions are the cause of the situation. Microexpression, the symptom. You're not spotting lies, you're spotting signals. Okay, first, we're talking about what is a microexpression. We're talking about the demystification about microexpressions. And now we're talking about the emotions. The emotions are the cause that is causing the expression to be shown on the face. Microexpression is the symptom that reflect or nearby reflect the emotion happening with that person. You're not spotting a lie, you're spotting a signal that person is giving to you. And sometimes to themselves. Now, let's start with emotions. Complex reaction patterns make us different from machines. Human nature help us know how to react and interact. Again, when you approach a baby and you're like, hi baby, hi beautiful baby, and the baby cry, you know that is not the best approach to go to that baby. By the way, one of the reasons that intrinsically we do the pitch low sound voice with babies is because for some reason intrinsically we know that is the sound the baby perceives the most. If you talk on the same tone of voice that I'm talking to a baby, it's gonna resonate like echo. It says, "Hi baby, how you doing, baby? How you doing?" That resonate with them better. So I was thinking that people stupidicize babies, ended up that it's not. You need to talk to babies that way. One of the advantage or disadvantage not to have kids. But emotions are complex. If we don't learn how to read emotions, if we cannot express emotions, how are we going to be interacting with others? How are we going to be giving signals? Do you know how many signals a person need to give to other person to make the other person aware that you're interested, flattering, or like it? 21. And a person needs 30 to understand that you have any attractiveness. So stop spotting lies and start improving relationships. Now, you want to know more about this witchcraft? Your team need a little help improving communication or a lot of help improving communication. I have a lot of messages yesterday about the suit training. I knew you guys are gonna like it, and only we give a tip of the iceberg because it was really difficult give you information related to that without giving the secret sauce about how those trainings happen. But you have a general idea. It's fun, and yes, we can do the training. Keep writing, and our team is gonna be contacting you about that. Remember, training and consulting. Susan Ivitz, susanivitz.com or Human Behavior Lab. Just contact me on LinkedIn. 3 micro expressions you must notice. We have 7 micro expressions, but due to the time, and I always over deliver and I spend more time than I should, I'm going to give you only 3 and prefer to do better 3 than trying to do the 7 of them. So the first micro expression we're going to be talking about is happiness. And let me tell you something. At least let me explain why we choose these 3 micro expressions. There are 3 emotions that you use when you try to analyze intent. Intent is how you vote, how you buy, why you vote, or why you buy. And we specialize in that. So it's well known that's what I do for a living. That's what I've been doing for a long time for a living. That is politics. A long time ago, somebody says, okay, we are checking if the people is watching Fox or watching CNN to determine what is going to be the pattern, how they're going to vote. It's not how you decide how you move the needle when somebody want to pick a candidate. It's not what you're going to use to decide if your product is proper to go viral and people is going to buy it. There are 3 emotions, actually 2 emotions that you need to be paying attention. People share happiness and people share anger. They don't share pity. They don't share stories about sadness. There are shared things about they make them happy and things are make them angry. Now, a sad story can make you angry, and for that reason, you're gonna share it. A victory story, a hero story, is can make you happy, and you share it or make you mad because the hero story is not reflecting what do you think that the person deserves to be reflected. Makes sense? So the 2 emotions that you look for to understand how people patterns work, manipulate, influence, persuasion, how the heck you're going to call it, are happiness and anger. So happiness, real happiness show in the eyes, not the mouth. Want to know more? Oh, thank you, love. So what happened during the pandemic, there we have good or bad things that we start getting aware now. But one of the things is that we were the first company doing, remember the study Faces with Mask, and we will start reading emotions and reading faces with mask. Well, later Virach Brach, I never know how to pronounce his name. He's a human behavior expert and psychologist, did a study and shows that 75% more accurate the juror were when the person testifying using a mask, because we stop getting distracted by the mouth. For example, I'm not wearing any makeup today either, but the red lipstick provoke a specific red lipstick provoke a texture and even in my skin texture that look like I wear makeup. If I wear another kind of red color, it's not going to provoke the same thing in my face. Why I do that? Because I want to distract you and pay attention to my mouth and not my eyes. Why? Because the 7 micro expressions happen on the eyes. I would say the most significant that you're gonna know if it's fake or not is smile and happiness, because you need to crinkle the side of your eyes. The CrossFit, you need it to show that it's a real smile. A fake or wrong smile can elevate stress hormones. So if you don't know how to smile, don't do it. If you really don't feel it, don't do it. I teach people how to fake smile. I don't want to call it specifically fake smile, just smile differently or make sure that people understand that you're smiling and you're happy. Smiling increase your oxytocin levels. If you says hello and welcome with a smile, people is going to elevate oxytocin. Oxytocin is one of the hormones that help us to have a better relationship. Actually, when I train sales reps or customer service or people who need to be on the phone all the time, one of the things that I tell them is say hello with a smile. And yes, you can hear the difference between somebody saying hello with a smile and somebody not saying hello with a smile. Best cue to trust, connect, and rapport. It looked like it's not going to be questions, so that allow me to keep going. Let's see if we can finish on time today. Anger. To me, one of the most fascinated micro expressions, emotions is anger. Appear when a boundary is crossed, predict conflict before it escalates, the sister of suspicion, a sign of hostile intentions and warning. One of the reasons that we call it that is the sister of suspicion is because when someone is giving you BS and you don't trust the person, you start getting suspicious. And high levels of suspicious bring anger. When somebody's not clear, one of the most dangerous personalities you're going to find out is the ambivalent, the person you don't know what the heck is going on. When somebody's an asshole, is an asshole. You know what to expect. When somebody's a narciso, when somebody is lovely, you know what you expect. When somebody is too needy, too friendly, too crazy, whatever. But the person you don't know how is the approach, who's that person? That is the ambivalent. That is the person who tend to provoke you. So if you have somebody in your life that provoke you and suddenly piss you off and you get angry every time you see that person, probably is an ambivalent. In leadership and in negotiation, critical warning sign. Sometimes in certain situations, you need to make people be angry. Legal settings, negotiation, when you want to uncover a bully, when you want to uncover somebody that have double intention, you need to make them angry. Remember the movie with Jack Nicholson and Cruise? Oh my God. Tom Cruise says, you cannot handle the truth. To me, is the best of all scenes to show how anger sometimes can help you. And somebody who couldn't help himself, and she is going to be our guest next week. Do you remember what happened to Simon Cowell a couple of years ago when Christina Lennon was on the stage of British Got Talent? That is the face that people does all the time when they interact with Christina Lennon. Guess what? She agreed to be with us next Tuesday. We haven't done the promos yet. I'm going to be having a long conversation with her to decide specifically how we're going to be addressing hypnosis, the myth of hypnosis, what really it is, what she does, the experience. She was the one who hypnotized Simon Cowell and Drew Barrymore live, and she is so fun to talk with. She is not doing a lot of media anymore. She's not doing the shows, but she is the number one top hypnotist on the world. Not fantasy hypnotizing, no show hypnotizing. She is the really, really big deal. And guess what? Next Tuesday, my lovely Christina is going to be with us sharing the stage. So let's go back to the presentation. So far, next Tuesday, you're not going to want to miss that show. Which micro expression is the most danger? And this is the part where I wish most of you were participating and giving me a hard time, because people fall in the rear end when I tell them that is surprise. Surprise, surprise with this. Discover of something unexpected is the getaway emotion. Everything happened after it. If surprise lasts too long, it's fake. Like, really? I'm horrible. I'm horrible faking it surprise. And I probably figure out things more than I should. And I try. I try so many times. Show like, really? That happened? And my face get hanging. And it shows that actually I was giving you a BS because I found out what was going on. But let me tell you where surprise is so complicated with humans. Surprise is the getaway. Elba was really sweet, but getaway emotion to me is the whole way to hell. Nothing come along with surprise, and I don't know why. No matter if it's happiness, what happened after surprise, it still is gonna end it up in a VS shit show. For example, you walk in a room, surprise! I found my partner kissing with somebody else that is not me. Surprise! It's a surprise party. Lovely. All these people are here in my house. Surprise. How you can be wearing that? Surprise. Oh my God, that is a bad joke. Surprise never happen alone. Surprise always come in or go with something else happen. One of the things where people they don't know when they teach micro expressions or they learn in micro expression without having the proper track or the proper conduct or the proper frame to learn micro expressions is like, oh, surprise, and it's done. When you see surprise or you suspect that can be the micro expression of surprise, that is when you need to be paying more attention than anything else. You need to be glued to the person to see what happened after. Because if you see surprise and you don't know what's going on and you start taking notes or take your head away, now you can get in trouble. So remember, surprise never come alone is danger if you don't know how to manage, if you don't know what to do with it. Why this matter for you? Because emotions intent shows up even when if you try to control it. You can learn to control it by the right coaching, by the right training, by the right technique and practice. But let's say this, it's impossible to go away in life trying to fake or controlling your micro expressions. Reading micro signals let you predict behavior. Emotions leak before words does. The emotion coming either before the words or at the beginning of the words. If the emotion happened after you say it, probably it's a construction of your brain trying to give me a lie or, misleading me with something. Contact us if you want to learn more, if you want to know about our training, our classes, licenses, or the data break system that we have when we analyze intent. Yes, like what Cambridge Analytica did, that I'm gonna say, put it out there. We are doing that. We are back. I'm back on the business. I'm back analyzing data. I'm back to my first love, that is politics. But now I transfer that to companies too. So if you want to know what people thinking behind, if you want to know what people saying when you leave the room, give us a call. That's what I like to. I like to say two things. Everybody have a point of entry. I give you the door. and you want to know what people is saying when you leave the room, well, you want to know what people is saying about you on internet, how they say it and what they say it. Do you want to know how many people is looking for your competitors? You want to know what people is looking for when they use the word body language? Last week only, last week only, 81,000%, 81,000 people were looking, 81K people were looking for body language only in 1 week. That is a lot of information. What you do with that information? Call us. Okay, people, tomorrow, we don't know what we're going to be doing. The truth to be told, we don't know. We have a schedule initially done, but with trying to get so many guests and analyzing, again, we go on internet, we use our agents, our own information to determine what are the topics that is being looking the most on the media. So Elba, let's get together in a few and determine what you're looking for, because Tuesday is going to be a good day, great day. We're going to have Christina Lennon, and let's see if we can have the original Clarice from Silas on the Lamb, the person who coached Jodie Foster. And we're going to be talking about, if she can make it, so body language of victim, how you are a victim and how you become a prey when you walk on the street, and how to avoid to be a prey through body language. People, I hope you enjoy it. Remember, micro expressions are not to detect lights. Micro expressions are not to show fine deception if you don't have a content and context, neither body language. And if somebody says the opposite, send them to me. They're lying to you. Bye, everyone. I see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.